Good afternoon, welcome to Grub in a Tub. So just an update, sorry it's been a while but I've had quite a lot on my plate and my back's been playing up a bit, so not really been in the garden that much, but I've been making up for it today. So as you can see, it's quite cloudy here in South Yorkshire. Expecting a bit of rain this afternoon. Not that I'm complaining, do the gardens good. So where are we? Well, I'm up on the top garden. As you can see, carrots at this end are all well through now, and parsnips at the other side. I have got some parsnips that did eventually come through in toilet roll tubes. They will be going in. They're only small, so I've got plenty of time. Maybe another month I would think I'll be able to, before I have to plant them out. So let's have a look at the beds. Okay, so the spring cabbage doing very well. I've got 3 chard plants in there, also doing very well. I've just pulled a load off for today, tea time. And greyhound cabbage with underplanted beetroot, and spinach at the far end with underplanted beetroot. I know it's early, but believe it or not, these in the top bed are my swede. I will sow them later next year, even though they are doing very well. And I'm not too sure about the sprouts, not doing so good. Seem to be slow growing, and so is the cauliflower all year round. They don't seem to be doing much either, to be honest. So, but maybe I've sown my brassicas a little bit early. So in this bed, these are the brassicas that I planted in the autumn that I don't really know what they are, apart from one, which is this one here, which I identify as a purple sprouting broccoli. I do hope the heads are going to get a little bit bigger, but we'll see. I'm not very happy with this bed at all, to be honest. The amount of work that's got into it, very poor growing, and to be honest, I'm not too sure whether it's the plants or the position of the bed, but we'll have to see. So the kales, 3 here, doing very well. I'm thinking that next, well, more in the autumn, that I'm going to transplant those kales into this bed here, and it's the same compost, and they've done really well. So we'll see them. That's the plan at the moment. I'm going to take some cuttings and maybe put 4 or 5 kales in this big bed here, of the perennial type, and see how they get on. So if we turn round, we come in here and we've got on the end, this is bed 8, and in here, as you can see, everything's taking off. We have store on onions, which have underplanted beetroot, and they all of a sudden in the last 4 or 5 days have really picked up growing speed. At first I didn't think they were going to do anything, but they're doing okay now. So I'm quite pleased with that one. Over the back here we have some rhubarb, 3 crowns, and just in the front a few bits and pieces of leek and kale that was left over from planting in the bottom bed, which as you can see they're growing like wildfire. So multi-sown leek and multi-sown dwarf green curly kale. So this bed here I've just planted up today, and at the moment it's just a full beetroot bed. There's nothing in it. I am thinking about putting maybe 3 lines of carrots in between the beetroot, but that won't be today. That's a job for another day. So we'll work our way back down to greenhouse level, and down here as you can see all my tatties are going crackers, coming on really well. Very pleased with the potatoes, and yeah, quite happy with those all round, to be honest, on top and bottom. In these beds here, apart from the Black Knight at the other end, we have some comfrey, but it's only freshly planted a couple of weeks back, so I don't expect to see that yet. I'm not too sure when I'll see it, how long it takes to germinate and start to push above ground. But I am led to believe that the is it Bok 14 does grow pretty quick, so just need it to get going and we'll take it from there. So let's have a look in the greenhouse. It's been quite cool in here. Everything's gone crackers. Sunflowers, I've got some out in the garden, down the bottom garden, the flower garden. I've just put some more little lettuce plants in here. The tomatoes coming on well. All the way across we have Gardener's Delight and Sweet Million. There's the plants I was talking about earlier, the parsnips, some spare kale, which I'm going to keep those in case I lose any for a friend of mine. And I've also got some lettuce which are in tubes, cardboard toilet tubes, ready for planting out a bit later on. As you can see by the lettuce that's originally planted in here, it's coming on really well. We've had loads of picks from it and sharing it out between friends and neighbours, so they're happy with it. And then as you can see we have loads and loads of sweet pea, 8 different varieties of sweet pea, and asters and snapdragon, antirrhinum. Some chilies that I need to thin out in these pots down here. The 2 big black pots, they want thinning out. Big 30 litre pots. I'm going to thin them probably to maybe 3 per pot. And then all the way down the other side we have 2 different types of gherkin. And they're growing really well apart from one. I lost one, so I've put a Gardener's Delight tomato in there in its place, and I hope that'll do do well. Temperature's picked up now, the sun's been out for probably an hour, but I forgot to mention up on top we have some spare tomatoes, some spring onions germinating, and another batch of leeks due out for the end of this end of May. Sorry about this, we're just going to sneak back outside, close the greenhouse door, go down onto the bottom garden. So as you can see, potatoes are doing well in here, as is the garlic. Now the bed with the netting over, I've just put mixed varieties of kale in, underplanted with some lettuce, and as you can see here, these garlic are doing very well. Just got a little weed there that's sneaked in. Where the hell did these come from? Half an hour ago they weren't there. So got a few radish in there, underplanted, and down here I've got some elephant garlic, some spring onions and some radish. So really shooting up. I'll see if I can just have a quick peep under here without doing too much of a disturbance. Put some getting in place neat. So all planted up all the way around. The net and the bamboo should keep the cats and the birds away. Hopefully should be enough, and then we come back down to the flower garden, and everything is going very nice in the flower garden. The only things that we've put in, other than the bulbs and pansies and the shrubs that are already there, are a few sunflowers called Joker. Doing very nice. And down at the bottom, builders just put the Velux window in into the top of the sunroom. It's coming on really well now. Unfortunately, his helper is off today, he's hurt his back, so I know the feeling. So anyway, we'll carry on down to the bottom. All these small green plants that you can see on these two beds are not weeds. They are a cornflower mix, wild seed that was scattered, broadcast and left to it. So hopefully that should, sorry about that, I'm just cutting the brake. 2 seconds. Her garden's looking feeble because the company that I'd ordered my herbs from have let me down along with my asparagus. They've let me down with the asparagus, celery plants, sweet potato plants. So can't say I'm particularly pleased. I understand things are difficult for everybody at the moment, but if you can't produce the goods at the right time, then why take the orders in the first place? So I'm battling them at the moment to try and get my money back. We shall see. So that's about it at the moment. As you can see, there's quite a bit of building going on, so I'll close for today. I hope you're all well and not too bored. Grow your own, eat well and live well. Take care. Thanks for now. Bye.